They've been in that situation many times. Fnatic, they've been in many finals as well. And, you know, the experience is a big factor. The question is, who's got the most experience? I wouldn't be able to split it. Fnatic,
No.
Season 1 champions, Moscow 5, Gambit, whatever you'd like to call them these days. They've been around for a long time in a lot of top tournaments. But picks and bans is what's coming in. And we do have a little bit of a change around. Leona, Nasus, and Twisted Fate. Gambit resorting back to the first 2 games. Thresh and Shen being the bans by Fnatic.
Zac, Kha'Zix, and Zed. It's going to be one of those 3 for the final ban, and I believe the other 2 will be picked up. We have not seen a Zac yet in this grand final. This is possibly the last game. This is 2 more victory matches that, you know, Gambit have a chance to win one of them and claim that final spot, and it's going to be Zed banned.
Which means Zac's going to get picked.
Yep.
Is it going to be 100%, or will he get let through? No, of course it's going to get picked.
So there we go. Zac picked up. He was
Not been locked in just yet.
picked or banned in every single game,
Boom,
just locked in there, and Diamond Prox was terrifying on him once we got to the mid-game.
Yes.
So if Diamond has got a little bit more comfortable and can find some more rhythm with those elastic slingshots, he may be able to channel that, you know, rubbery goodness and actually pick up kills earlier than he did in the previous games.
Flubbery, rubbery goodness.
That's it.
That's what he's got.
The
so,
blob.
Fnatic, Elise has been left available to them, as has Kha'Zix or Zed.
Yep.
Which way will they move this? The question is, of course, we've seen Soaz playing Zed. We've seen Alex Titch playing Zed. If it's available, he will pick it.
What about Jarvan as well? That's another possibility for Fnatic. We've seen them first picking a couple of times before, so we'll see what they do decide to prioritize in this matchup. If they decide to lock in the Elise, they're denying it from their opponents as well as securing it in for themselves.
And that does mean that we may see Diamond Prox on Jarvan the 4th, which means it will actually be Darian on Zac.
Yeah, exactly, which would be very good to see. It'll be the first time that we'll see this team running it in the top lane if this Jarvan gets locked in. As we said, Volibear still available. Nautilus as well. We haven't seen him this particular series yet, but we're not 100% sure what the jungler is going to be for Fnatic, especially if Jarvan does get taken away. So if that is locked in, we'll have to see what Fnatic decide to fall back on as far as their jungle pick is concerned.
Commander Alex Ich is giving out the instructions to his team, and they obey, and it's going to be Varus that gets selected. And it does mean that the AD carry is going to be changing. Normally Misfortune for Gambit's Genja, but this time around he's not going to be able to get it. And what will Yellowstar pick? He was hovering over that Vayne before and didn't go with it. Instead chose something different.
I'm still not 100% comfortable with this pick because of the range that Zac has to initiate with his bouncing ability. Then you've got Jarvan that can lock him down, and then you've got Varus that can lock it down. If it gets picked in, Fnatic must have been practicing Vayne a lot to feel comfortable with that pick. I wouldn't be surprised to see it with some protection, maybe a Lulu. I keep saying Kayle because it is a good protection pick. I want to know what Alex is going to run in his mid laner. Is he going to feel that Ahri is a counter to Kha'Zix and run a role reversal of what we've seen from game 2, I think it was?
Or he could go Zed versus Kha'Zix. Actually, tell her he's been banned.
Banned out, yeah.
So he couldn't. It would be tricky, but it'd be against the rules.
So what I do like about this right now, if this Janna does get locked in, this is what I was talking about during game 2, where I was saying the counter initiation is great. You had this team where Gambit could throw themselves in, and Fnatic were looking for a defensive support which could knock all of the opponents away, and they're going to find it in the form of Janna. Janna plus Kog'Maw is a very, very difficult bully lane. Great range and great damage from that Eye of the Storm.
I am unsure about picking Kog'Maw when there's a Jarvan on the team.
No, I agree with you entirely. It's the same mistakes as Vayne. Exactly the same thing. There's no escapes, and if you are out of position once, or if you face check a Tribush at 55 minutes and give away Baron, it's mistakes you cannot get away from. It's a very risky pick, but if it works well. Think back to Evil Geniuses versus SK game 3.
Worked very well for them. Of course, this is the first Janna we've seen in the grand finals. We haven't seen too much of Janna really the entire season, but it's a champion N-rated has run before many, many times in the past. It's nothing going to be alien to the entire team. We do see Edward discussing right now with his team what they're going to go with, and of course the final pick for Genja as well. It is going to be Malphite once again, so Alex Ich will be running that Malphite mid.
Yeah, probably with the flash teleport like we've seen. He actually went 1v2 yesterday with that particular setup, managed to do so well with it. So we'll see if that does happen to be the case. I know that about a month or 2 months ago in the higher echelons of the rank queues, there was actually AP mid Jannas that was super ultra popular.
Yep.
And it's something we have seen from time to time. It's not a particularly common pick, but, just throwing it out there as a thought. Not going to be, but if we don't see a jungle locked in now, it's going to be jungle Elise or jungle Kha'Zix.
I think it's going to be Peke on Kha'Zix, Soaz will be on Elite, so it's going to be actually the jungler we're waiting for from Cyanide. And it does look like it may well be Volibear. Nasus has been banned quite consistently in this game, and yet when... All four? I'm sure he was available in one of them games.
No, you are correct. Game 3 wasn't banned. Was not banned in the previous matchup. Completely slipped through the cracks. Nobody wanted to play it. Instead, deciding to run a jungle Eve. I still remember we were talking about that, and we were like, well, we didn't expect that at all. Completely threw us for a loop. So, Volibear pick. You've got a very, very, very tanky team from Gambit. And if Kog'Maw gets fed, that Bioarcane Barrage is going to destroy them. It's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. Job done.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've got a lot of tools to engage with Gambit here, as opposed to the last match where they didn't really have a great engage unless they kind of came in from every angle, and it worked well for them. This time around, they've got Malphite that could be ulting in there. Yeah, we'll wait to see whether that stays.
We'll see who swaps.
Alex is picking Zach up right now and switching Will Malphite. We'll see whether that switches back just before the timer's run down. Diamond Prox, he can join him, jump in with a Cataclysm. We can have the Slingshot in there as well. There's a lot of engagements. And, of course, don't forget when they're all in there, Wild Growth bouncing everybody in the air. You could just not touch the ground.
So this is something that we talked about so much and how effective it was for Fnatic against...
It's staying.
For Fnatic that worked so well is all the knockups. You cannot reduce the effectiveness of a knockup. So Malphite knockup, Jarvan knockup, Lulu knockup, Zac knockup. It's the hardest form of CC in the game at the moment, and they have got tons of it. On the other side, you do have a lot of mobility. You've got Volibear that's going to be able to run around. Elise and Kha'Zix can hop. Janna can interrupt them. And this is actually very, very key. Pay very close attention to Enrated's Howling Gales, because he's going to be able to interrupt some of these hops and these skips. And, with the knockback of Monsoon, a lot of pressure will be on him to control, the tempo of these team fights.
This is an interesting potential counter that Alex has pulled out here. Could he go the tanky route that we saw Soaz going yesterday on Zac in this mid lane, or will he go full AP?
It's going to depend on the laning phase. It's going to depend on how well he does, how well he can CS, and whether or not he can get some early kills. I imagine he's going to build tanky plus some ability power, the likes of a Sunfire Cape, an Abyssal Scepter, maybe a Liandry's down the line. Will give you some armor, some MR, some health. That would be my anticipation. The one thing I do like about this composition, though, is that Malphite is a great anti-carry. He's going to be able to, if he gets in range of Kog'Maw, shut him down so hard with that ground slam. So, going to be a lot of onus on Yellowstar to avoid being collapsed on.
So here we go. We're about to get underway, and, well, this could be an interesting one, ladies and gentlemen. Gambit Gaming, they are 2-1 up over Fnatic so far in this best-of-5 Spring Playoffs Grand Final. And we do now see, for the first time in the LCS for Europe, Zac in the mid lane. And, well, he's 100% banned or picked so far in this Grand Finals. And I think it's probably around about 90% across the entire playoff period.
Yeah, really a lot of focus has been on this brand new champion, and we've seen him now in the third role over the course of the last couple of days. We also seen Soaz as Elise, which is very, very impressive, to be honest. He managed to get a lot of ability power. They were running a double AD comp, and that little one's missing means Yellowstar's a little safe, but that standard will reveal him, and he'll just back away.
He's going to back away. The ward goes down. Yellowstar's not going to quite get the reset, and he's not going to be able to take down that ward. So, 30 seconds until minions spawn. The voice comes out, and we will see how it works out. As it is a warning ping on top of Cyanide's head, which means no real counters. Remember, look to act to the third, fourth place playoff. Evil Geniuses and SK, it was all about the level 1 fights. Neither of this team want to do anything.
Took the words right out of my mouth. I was just about to highlight how different they are, complete polar opposites, that we had all level 1 aggression in both of those matchups, and this has just been about vision and about understanding where your opponents are. We've actually seen some tactical play and some tactical movements around with some steals involved, but no actual, champion on champion action. It does look like we're going to have those lane swaps right now, and Alex is going to the bottom lane.
Alex is going to the top lane.
Alex,
I think we're going to see
Darian, this is me. Yeah. Darian on Malphite is going to the bottom lane.
But it's actually going to be a 2v2.
Well, at the moment it's jungler and solo laner, but we'll see how it pans out. The junglers will eventually go on their own little missions, but yes, this is going to confuse me, because Alex Malphite is what I fell in love with, and now it's going to be Darian.
But Alex on Zach is going to try and get the blue buff away. Soaz is going to come in, try and steal it away. He does manage to get it. Will he pay for it with his life here? Yes, he will. They need to give it to Alex. He hasn't got slingshot. He can't go across, so Edward's just going to have to try and take the kill. But Janna comes around, N-rated with the shield, and that was a hit and run from Soaz. Fantastic start.
So well played, and that's going to put Alex on the back foot so incredibly well. He's going to have to deal with that top lane, losing a lot of HP, but it's not over.
N-rated caught out by Diamond Prox, and there's going to be the Glitzer Lance. Hail of Arrows comes in, and the kill comes down. It's Diamond Prox that takes it with that red buff.
Just completely popping Janna and unable to save her life, but Soaz does have that blue buff, and we'll see whether or not he can bully that top lane. He had a very good matchup yesterday, and we'll see whether or not he can do the same. Kha'Zix against Malphite. Now we see Cyanide actually with the fight.
This is non-stop action already. Just 3 minutes gone into this game. Now it's going to be a 3-on-3 in towards the jungle. Alex Ich does launch himself, but his Yellow Star picking the kill up on Edward. And then Cocoon lands on towards Alex Ich. Genja, though, joins the party. Now they're getting on towards Cyanide. The Hail of Arrows comes down. Yellow Star's taking a lot of damage. N-Rated's going to join the party as well, and everybody's going to have to back away, but they're going to get surely flipped by Cyanide. The Cocoon lands once again, and it's Soaz that sinks in his fangs and picks up the kill. Now they're on towards Alex Ich. Cyanide trying to get the flip on him, but he has to run away from that one. And now there's a 3-man Fnatic in the mid lane. Just 3 minutes, 30 seconds in. Darian teleports to the bottom lane. And I think that's the end of all of that.
D-Man, they're trying to kill you right now, but up in that jungle, Fnatic get away with barely any life. 3 of them getting away, and look at this, it's a fight.
Darian's going to go for this. He's got a giant creep wave. There should be enough. The minions are going to hit on towards him. Has he got enough to finish it off? He just needs to get one shot. He flashes through and lands it. And Darian takes down Peke in the bottom lane.
2-2, but Cyanide is here. The bear wants to squash the rock. Is Darian going to be able to get away? Because it looks like Cyanide's given up. Look at the positioning for Enraged. He's about to run into Lulu.
He's about to run into Lulu. Edward was trying to shut him off there, but N-Rated was in preparation, and that is very much a drive-by from Darian. Managed to flash through, but of course flash burn, teleports burn, summoner spells all across the board. It's 2-2, just 4 minutes into this 4th game.
I retract my previous statement about level 1 engagements not being exciting. It was the level 2s where everything was planned for. All planned from these teams and craziness. But what I love about it is it's not one team making it all exciting and stamping an authority on the game. It was back and forth. And Gambit bounced back brilliantly. Yellow Star has returned to lane with that kill and another Doran's Blade, and with the damage from either Storm is going to put a lot of DPS down.
Just look at the items all across the board, because everyone was getting kills, assists. We're seeing double Doran's Blade and that brilliant Fortitude pot that Yellow Star's had very early on. The damage between these AD carries is going to be very strong just 5 minutes into this game.
Yeah, and we'll see how well it affects them, because of course both carries have the ability to shield one another and poke very well. And we'll see how that matchup plays out. Importantly, Soaz has picked up a KG's lucky pick very, very early on. So that's a GP10 that's going to be doing a lot of work the longer this game goes. And Darian's caught Peke.
Tower hit on towards Peke there. Darian chose not to follow up on that one, though. That was an interesting one. I thought maybe he could have landed the shard through and just won the reset and kept on pushing, but they've got no vision of where Cyanide is.
No flash, no ignite, and Peke could have leapt away. So I think Darian made the smart decision to CS and not lose any creeps, chasing a kill that he was never really going to guarantee. What we do see, though, is the bear is coming down to give a little bear hug to Darian's Malphite, and whether or not it'll work out. But take a look at this. You can see Kha'Zix about to meet Chandra, but it's a fight in the top lane instead.
Fight in the top lane, Soaz repels away from that one. Meanwhile, Cyanide, he's going to come around the side there. Diamond Prox, sorry, he's going to chase on towards him as well in this bottom lane. They are going to catch on. Darian's going to get taken very low. Peke could drop as well. We're going to see Diamond Prox pursuing towards there. Surely going to pick up the kill. Yes, they will. 1-for-1 trade. Now in towards the mid lane. Yellow Star's going to get caught out as well. Edward's going to try and push on towards him, but Yellow Star does force him away. If I could only get his name right.
Cyanide's going to carry on chasing. Rolling Thunder will be up shortly. His frenzy's available. He may tower dive, but instead doesn't. And the craziness continues. There are fights in every single lane, every single minute, and it is not looking like it's going to stop.
Choosing to back away from this one. So 3-3 currently the kills, and again Hail of Arrows comes on towards Yellow Star, taken very, very low in that engagement, and now it's going to be Gambit. They're pushing up on towards that turret. Hail of Arrows will be back off cooldown in a moment, and Yellow Star may well eat another volley from that one. Meanwhile, in this top lane, Alex Ich, he's going to get taken low by Soaz. Soaz does back away from that one, though. Alex Ich, he's starting to boss out that top lane as well, as he thumps his chest and backs away. He's got a 10 CS difference, but that's going to get equalized by Soaz as he leaves the lane.
Yeah, exactly. in addition to that, the KG's Lucky Pick will be doing a lot of work to even out that goal difference as well. But the pressure's not over. Yellow Star's just taking a lot of poke there from that Genja and Edward combination in this mid lane.
And there's that Hail of Arrows landing once again on Yellow Star. The red buff was used to save his life earlier on, and it seems to be doing a pretty fantastic job of doing just that. So, let's take stock of the situation. Blue buff about to spawn. We see Peke. He's going to be gifted across this one. And you do see the flip from Cyanide there, throwing that blue in the air. And it's going to be now a blue buffed up Kha'Zix in that bottom lane. He's going to get the Void Spikes evolving in just a few moments. He's at level 5. He will be hitting 6 in just a minute. And that, it may well cause a few problems with Darian, but Darian is doing a fantastic job in this bottom lane.
Double the CS, and he's completely shutting Xpeke down early, but that is what Malphite does against these sort of assassin, AD bruisers. And Cyanide's joined the party, but there's a ward in that bush, so Darian's not going to overcommit himself to this fight, no matter how tasty that blue buff bug looks like. At the moment, Peke is just going to do the best that he can to do some damage control and try to bring himself back into the matchup. You can see that Diamond Prox's Jarvan is up in the top lane, stealing away those double golems. We'll see whether or not they decide to dive. There's the possibility of a successful dive if they can land that Let's Bounce ultimate, plus a knock-up from Diamond.
Yeah, this is probably one of the first times we've seen a straight Darian versus Peke lane from level 1. Just 8.5 minutes gone into this game. 300 gold separating the teams, and actually that's 500 now. It's just bounced up. Look, it's 400 again. They're just going to keep me on my toes the whole time, damn them. But they're going to keep obviously getting gold as they go, and now they're actually fighting for those wraiths. We do see Diamond getting that one, but Yellowstar, the Cataclysm turnaround from Diamond Prox is going to keep him completely locked up. He is on his own, turns him into a cupcake. Can they get the finishing kill? Edward goes in, puts the ignite down, barrier there, but N-Rated saves the day with a Howling Gale, and now Cyanide's the focus of target. Genja comes in there, slides through, Cyanide gets taken down, the exhaust on Diamond Prox.
Here comes Soaz.
The repel comes in, Soaz comes in, sinks his fans, he actually went on Edward, uses the ignite, very nicely done. Can he get the double kill? No, because Alex Hitch comes in, Chain of Corruption comes out from Genji, he catches on towards N-Rated, bouncing in there, can he get the kill? He gets the interrupt, one more hit, but the barrier comes out, and Alex Hitch, well, doesn't quite pick up the kill. 2 for 1 there, everything being blown and everything being thrown into this game.
Absolutely crazy action right now. N-Rated being very brave, sticking around, using that Howling Gale to try and clear out this wave as best as possible. Yellow Star took a very, very long time to use that barrier and that flash once that fight began, and yes, he got away with his life, but my word was he cutting that one close. The flash board from Cyanide, and here's Genja.
Howling Gale unflipped, the tower manages to come through, and Genja's taking very low. They're not going to pursue this one through the race though, and instead he does walk away. 3 members of Fnatic looking like they want to go for Dragon.
I cannot get over the aggression out of these two teams. It's just been in-your-face action since the get-go. We're averaging close to 1 kill per minute, and as the Dragon hits 10 minutes on the clock, Fnatic decide to start this one out, but Malphite's unstoppable force is available, and Darian, he may decide to throw this one down. Here's the engage.
He slides in, catches on towards Cyanide. He's going to get taken down. It's going to be Diamond Prox that picked up the kill. Unstoppable force on towards Yellowstar. Gets straight away blown back by Monsoon, but they leap back in. That's going to be a double kill for Darian as he goes down to Peke. Now it's going to be Peke taken low. N-Rated is going to get dropped. The shard comes in. Darian picks up that kill, and now Edward tries a little bit of poke towards Peke and realizes can't quite take down one of these champions. It's 3 for 1 to Gambit.
3 for 1, and Fnatic should never have picked that fight. Yellow Star got dunked on by another Cataclysm. He had no flash, he had no barrier, and all the shields and heals in the world from Janna were not enough to save him. So a 3 for 1 exchange. Dragon is still alive, but advantage Gambit for the time being.
As it stands, it is very, very close. 2,000 gold, as you mentioned, advantage Gambit. Can they go 3-1 in this series and end it as the LCS whole season has shown? It went 3-1 to Gambit across the board. Will they equalize that score and prove that Gambit are one and all the #1 team in Europe, or will Fnatic upset the trend that Gambit have been so used to over all the Intel Extreme Masters, all the tournaments that they play, and they normally get the upper hand over Fnatic, but this time around it may not be the case, and Gambit looking strong right now. N-Rated, he's been all over the place so far. He comes down to give a little bit of comfort hugs to Peke.
He's going to have to give a lot of comfort hugs to Peke because he's very behind at the moment. He's a couple levels behind, as well as all the pressure that he's taking here from Darian in this mid lane, or bottom lane rather. What we've seen from an earlier matchup was that Peke felt that Ari was a good counter to Kha'Zix and made it work. In this particular game, Gambit feel that Malphite is a good counter to Kha'Zix, and boy are they making it work. we do see the lanes returning to some form of normality. For the first time in a very long time, we can take stock of what has happened. In terms of itemization, there's nothing too exciting happening. We do see Genja has picked up a pickaxe as well as that Vamp Scepter. We do see a Hextech Revolver being picked up by Alex, so he's going AP.
And Rated using that Howling Gale quickly to knock back Diamond Prox. He almost got slid in on that. And you may have heard my excited...
You pulled a Trevor. You pulled a Trevor as far as the squeaks go. Soaz is going to find Alex, going to land the cocoon and jump on him.
Oh my word, the damage that just came out from Soaz. He's very low on mana though, but he can be able to sink his fangs in. Remember, he's going to get caught down, but unfortunately the passive isn't going to be enough. Soaz has got to get very aggressive on this. The turret dive, the teleport comes in. Soaz has been caught too deep from this one, and Alex Inch, would you believe it, picks up the kill. I don't even think Darian needed to be there.
No, Darian, he arrived just at the time that Elise died. But take a look at this. Cyanide's found Diamond.
Cyanide's found Diamond. They know that obviously the top lane is not there. Peke comes in. There's going to be straight Cataclysm. Actually blocks out Peke. Peke now comes in, gets a chunk of Diamond. But we're going to see down the bottom there, Chain of Corruption just landed. Peke does pick up the kill, but it's going to be Yellowstar. The barrier, is it going to be enough? The Monsoon comes out from N-Rated and saves him brilliantly. And another Howling Gale thrown backwards keeps Gambit away from their AD carry.
This time round, the heals and the shields were enough to save his life, and Yellowstar walks away, but he was out of position. It's not over.
Unstoppable Force comes in and it's pretty much roadkill Yellowstar.
And we take a look at that. Genja stops to look at the exploding Cogmore, and it turns out cool kids do look at explosions. Xpec is trying to take this blue buff away. Edward's just going to run some interference.
Edward tries to come in and steal it, but it may well be his life that he loses, because Peke with that blood buff, and you see Edward actually taunting Peke.
Soaz is jumping on Alex, but Alex is bouncing away.
He's going to bounce away from that one, and wow. This just kills across the map. We're actually past 1 kill a minute right now. Both these teams, they are out for blood. It's 10-6 and it's Gambit with the advantage.
This game is bedlam right now. In terms of items, a very interesting pickup has just been secured though by Alex. He decided to go for the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, going for that selfish spell vamp item, and obviously going to try to get as much lifesteal back as possible. For those that haven't seen, that percentage HP damage, as well as your ultimate in team fights, gives you so much life back. Because it's percentage HP, it's a lot of base damage, and that heals a lot. 2 versus 2 in this bottom lane, and here's the fight.
Both junglers are in there. It's going to be Diamond Prox jumping in. Peke jumps back in there. That's going to be Darian going down, and now Diamond has to flash away from this one. Have they got enough to chase it through? No. But that is another kill, and it's Fnatic this time that pick it up, and it's just a 1,000 gold difference between the two.
After all of this excitement and drama, Peke finds himself 4-2. He's going to leap forward to get those Void Spikes down onto Diamond Prox and immediately back away. 10-7 is the kills. It's 1,500 gold difference at the 15-minute mark, and for the second time, Fnatic are going to start the Dragon. The last time this happened, it almost killed Julie. Let's see if Gambit are going to engage and try to suffocate you once more.
It does look like Fnatic are going to pick this gold lead up as Diamond Prox tries to sneak in there. It's not going to happen. No, Genja gets kept away by Soaz. They're going to chase on towards Diamond Prox. They do get the slowdown. The Howling Gale gets dodged down, but is it going to be the death of Diamond Prox? Yes, no, he jumps back in Cataclysm, but the turret wasn't quite close enough to hit him. He just mistimed it ever so slightly. But here comes Alex Inch. He's going to bounce around. Cyanide gets down on all fours and pauses him away, and it's going to be the Howling Gale from N-Rated that forces him back. Look at the gold, ladies and gentlemen. It's just 100 between them, and Fnatic are shoving down the mid lane.
They haven't stopped the pressure. They pick a fight after fight after fight. The same token, Gambit are now trying to put pressure on this bottom lane, but you have to feel that Cogmore is going to destroy a tower quicker than what a Malphite and a Zac will. But they will trade tower for tower. That is the first towers of the game going down.
Still 100 gold between these two teams. Very, very tight here. And a complete change from the first 16 minutes of the last match. That is for damn sure right now.
What do you mean the last match of the last 3 matches, Lee? We haven't seen this much excitement at all in the series. But with so much on the line, the pressure has been turned up. And the teams, they're responding in kind. They are reacting as if this is the only game that matters.
Let's look across the items across the teams as well. So as got that Morellonomicon on along with the Haunting guys. There's actually the game is getting speeded up because of the pace of the kills. Everybody is buying those items much earlier.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we'll see how it pans out. Right now, though, Gambit, they've grouped up in this mid lane. They're going to take this down. Peke is around on the side, needs to be very, very careful. In terms of initiation power, they're just going to rely on Kha'Zix and Volibear to dive in there. There's no subtlety to this engagement composition from Fnatic. If someone gets caught by a Howling Gale, or if the Bear and the Bug think they can pick up a kill, they're just throwing themselves at it.
They're going to launch themselves at it. We do see Alex returning to that top lane. So there may finally be a moment to breathe here and take stock of the situation. Darian and Peke, they've been butting heads in this bottom lane a number of times. Peke has actually evolved his wings now, so he will be able to pounce around Darian, and he can just pretty much a cocoon. Does go on towards Alex Hitch. He's going to get all flubbery straight on Soaz, though. Soaz does repel away. He goes straight towards the minions. He knew it was going to be one of them. Diamond Prox comes in, hasn't got Cataclysm. Now he does. He manages to catch on. Soaz is going to go down, but it's going to be Yellowstar coming in. He's going to take down Alex Hitch, and he does manage to pop in the pass. It was not available, and now it's going to be Diamond Prox in all sorts of trouble. Can he slide away in time? The slow comes out, the red buff doing his job, and Diamond Prox gets flipped back in by Cyanide. Yellowstar picks up another kill in the top lane. What a game!
Flippin' hell, D-Man, that's a 2-for-1 exchange for Fnatic. Thank goodness Yellowstar was there with that red buff. Now they're going to apply the pressure on this top lane turret. Try to even it out at 2-2. Gambit, however, have responded in kind. They see the mid lane. They are barreling down there with that mid-inner turret in mind. We'll see whether or not they can pick it up.
This is going to be a turret for an outer turret for an inner turret possibly here. You can see they're going to keep on pushing on there, and they're going to maybe get a lot of damage down. Nobody really close enough to react to this one. Soaz is coming, and Gambit actually backing away because they know that Peke is starting to make a move up there, gets spotted out by the wards, and that actually buys a bit of time for Darian to clear that bottom wave. Look at the gold still. 600 between the two, 11-10 in terms of kills, and 2 turrets apiece.
In terms of itemization as well, the Blade of the Ruin King has just been finished off for Yellowstar's Cogmore, so that's going to be a very, very vital item in these team fights. Going to be able to use the active to help kite away from Jarvan, away from Zac, and away from Malphite. So I really, really like that item pickup. We still haven't seen Alex Hitch upgrading his tier 2 boots. I'd like to see whether he goes Sorcerer's Shoes or Merc Treads for some additional survivability, but it looks like the question is answered. He is going full AP. He's got the Spell Vamp, and now he's got some penetration.
We'll see what he does with that. 5-2-0 though for Peke. He's the one that needs the kills, and he got the kills on Kha'Zix. This game is actually falling into Fnatic's hands the way the kills are flying. Alex Hitch clears out the wards over at the Baron. They can't surely be thinking of that one already. So 2 minutes to go before the dragon spawns, and I think I just need to take a moment.
I think we can both take a moment here, because my heart is racing at the pace of this game. 20 minutes on, 21 kills in the game, 2 turrets to 2. We've seen 1 dragon going down, and it's just been, all these skirmishes all over the map. We actually haven't seen a straight-up team fight that's, been even numbers on even. Peke is about to run into Darian here, and Darian with that Sunfire Cape will be able to bully him around, but he doesn't quite have that burst potential to squash the bug beneath his boot.
So Darian has actually been doing a pretty damn good job in this bottom lane against Peke, honestly. Kind of a good counter towards Kha'Zix, it seems, and for once he hasn't been having a singular problem in the lane. He's got that Sunfire Cape down, and he's starting to farm out very well. He's actually out farming Peke. But the fact that Peke does have those 5 kills is obviously giving him that slight gold advantage. Yellowstar, he's starting to become a bit of a beast on Cogmore here. He's picked up a couple of kills. We saw him in the top lane when he shredded down Alex Hitch and Diamond Prox, and that could well be a major headache for Genja.
So I would love to see some attack speed coming out of Cogmore as his next item. Something like a Phantom Dancer, Static Shift, something along those lines. Or wait for this Soaz, he's got the Cocoon.
The repel goes in, the Cocoon lands, and Edward has to use the shield on himself there, but the hail of arrows from Genja does manage to keep them back. But, well, Fnatic, they have a 4-man group up 26 seconds before that dragon spawns. They're ready and waiting to go, but they may lose that top turret to Alex Hitch.
So we'll see how quickly he can get it down. Fnatic are trying to respond, and the way Soaz is building right now, those cocoons plus the damage follows up is more like a kaboom, and here comes Peke on Darian.
They're going on towards him. You can see Yellowstar, he's running across towards him. He's going to try and catch him down with a slow. The Void Ooze does just catch the tail end of Darian there, and you can see now it's going to be Diamond Prox sliding in on Yellowstar. The rest of his team not with him though, and they are going to force the battle, but it is going to be the dragon spawning. Alex Hitch is backing off. They may well be able to get here just in time.
Darian has teleport available though, so if he recalls and heals up, he could join the party and knock everybody up with that unstoppable force. I was trying to say Yellowstar should prioritize attack speed, because with the shield that Janet can put down, that'll give him plus 50 attack damage. It's a very important item. Right now, Gambit, they're split. 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Dragons down, and here come Fnatic. Fnatic.
Oh, and Diamond gets a little bit slowed off there. Peke jumps back in there. The rest of the team are coming down the river as well, but it's Diamond Procs they do manage to single out, and Gambit have to back away from this one. Fnatic starting to bully them a little.
All of a sudden, Fnatic are the ones that are split up. Yellowstar got turned into a munchkin.
He does manage to get caught down there. Chain of Corruption comes out and lands perfectly. Alex each bouncing around all over the place. That means Yellowstar's down. Look at Darian though. He's low in the bottom lane. They're going to come around. Elastic Sloinstock straight towards N-Rated, but misses this time around. It's going to be Soaz that they chase on though. He's been singled out in the bottom lane. Peke's coming in the backside of Genja, and Edward is the word I'm looking for. It's not quite Jedward. Elastic Slingshot comes out and got interrupted, and that's going to be the slow coming out as well from N-Rated. Edward manages to repel away. Soaz is going to catch on towards him. Alex is caught out. He's not going to be flobbery enough here. He's going to get chased down. Cyanide's on all fours. There he is. His passive goes down, and he's going to get destroyed. It is a 1-for-1 right now, and Fnatic and Gambit are really going at it here. Just 600 gold separates the teams after 23 minutes.
Yellowstar cannot afford to get caught out like that again. At the end of the day, they do trade 1-for-1, but that was very, very sloppy. Initially, Gambit were out of position. Fnatic chased them down. Then Fnatic got out of position, and they were split down the middle by Gambit, and that was what cost them. Look how scared Genja is. He flashes over the wall to prevent being caught out by members of Fnatic. Everybody's just throwing themselves at one another the entire time. It's like a mosh pit in League of Legends.
It's a mosh pit that I'm enjoying being in. I'm throwing my elbows high, and I'm catching everyone down. It is going to be Edward that's catching on towards those wards, though. Wards deaths, that's just a thing of the past right now, because it's all about kills. We're just about keeping up 1 kill per minute right now in this game. Let's hope it goes to a 50-minute match.
Yeah, teams, they're not CSing here. They're champion killing. That's what this is about. And as long as this keeps up, I'll be honest, if we go to a 50-minute match, we may die. Someone get the reviving paddles. What are they called? Damn it, words are lost. Nevertheless, 12-11 in kills. 1,000 gold separates these teams. Fnatic for the first time pulling ever so slightly ahead.
Well, if it keeps on going at this rate, I may have to start stripping off, frankly, because it's getting pretty damn warm in here right now. As the tension mounts, and Gambit,
not again.
They are 2-1 up in this one, of course. Remember, this game, if they win it, they will take the $50,000 prize and, more importantly, be the #1 team in EU. And as it stands, Fnatic, they are fighting for survival. Can they take it to the 5th game of the series, or will Alex Hitch and his crew be able to cause them heartache?
Well, we'll see as the game goes on, as N-Rated gets caught out a little bit there by Darian's Malphite. He's picked himself up a Haunting, guys. Going to start working towards some additional ability power and get even more damage into this equation. And in terms of damage threats, you have 4 damage threats per team. Lulu and Janna are going to be full utility support monsters. Darian is going to find himself a spider, and look how quickly that tower is getting shredded.
But immediately it is going to be Darian coming down and playing defensive duty. I don't remember the last time Darian's tower stood so long in a game, or maybe I'm just getting absolutely thrown here. The cocoon does go down, and Soaz turns it straight aggressive onto Darian, and you saw his hit points just melt away.
So this time round, Soaz makes the right decision when it comes to fighting under a tower. He gave away his life earlier in the matchup. This time round, realized he could put the damage, cocoon him up, and kill the tower. If Darian stuck around, he had the potential to pick up a kill, but Darian wisely backs away. At the moment, it is 3 towers to 3. The gold is pulling ever so slightly ahead for Fnatic, but that is going to change at any moment because these team fights break out all the damn time.
And the blue buff going to be taken by Genja this time around. So we'll see how much that works out. It's Chains of Corruption, you know, for all the talk we did about Chain of Corruption, it's been working really well in this whole for grand final. Some absolute epic catches with that ultimate.
Yeah, it's a game-changing ability because of how quickly it can spread to your opponents, especially when comboed with other CC. The slow from Lulu, the knockups from Zac, etc., etc. It's just going to lock down those squishy carries of Elise, of Kha'Zix, and of Kog'Maw in place. So, once again, Yellowstar is going to make sure he cannot get caught out. It happened to him earlier around that dragon fight that happened a couple minutes ago. We'll see whether or not he can be correctly positioned for the next time they fight.
So, let's take stock. Let's look across the board. We do see level 15 for Darian, Soaz is very much nearly there. Peke and Alex Hitch, they're both at 15s. The junglers, they're at 12 and 13 close together. It's actually the AD carriers that fell behind in levels as well. Of course, the supports, they're always going to be behind, but It's normally the AD carries you'd see off the side farming, but they've simply not had time in this game.
They weren't allowed to.
Yeah.
They did not get permission to pass go and collect.
There was no lane phase in this game.
No, they weren't allowed to pass go and collect 200 CS because it's just non-stop action. We went straight from level 2 to mid-game team fights, and that's what it's been the entire time. Now that all the towers are down, the reason the game is slowed down is because it's too risky to go that deep into your opponent's lane. So it's allowed the teams to start picking up some additional CS, to start getting some life back. And a very, very big pickup has happened for Alex. It's a Spirit Visage on Zac. I talked about how important and how great the heals are from Spellvamp and percentage HP damage. That now gets amplified by that passive of Spirit Visage, increasing all healing and regenerative effects. If they don't kill Alex or focus him with an Ignite in that Morella Nomicon, he's just going to keep healing over and over and over.
Well, we do see if we have a slowdown finally in this game, as is almost expected, because frankly I don't think they could keep up that pace, and probably nor could I. It does seem though that Diamond Proxy still doesn't want to let them have that Wraith. He's going to try and poke it, and look at Peke, he's just holding it there. It's like, come at me, come a little bit closer, you know you have to hit it so Peke can finish it with the Void Spikes.
Alright, so Dragon has just spawned. Neither team has vision on it right now, but they both will have the timers. So you can anticipate another fight. Look at the pings. Both teams pinging in and around that middle lane and the river. Darien is set up, poised to engage with that unstoppable force. And if they get the right target, they might be able to just insta-pop somebody. If Fnatic want to challenge, they need to go quickly. And where's the decision going to come in? Do they want to start this fight? They would be doing it blind, and that is always going to be a problem.
Yeah, the Dragon's going to go down before they get a chance to. The question is, will they engage? Of course, there's a great deal of initiations for Gambit, so anyone at any time could launch in towards them. And this time, Fnatic choose wisely and back away. 1,000 gold between the teams, 28 minutes gone.
A moment of indecision cost Fnatic either the team fight or the Dragon. They simply were too slow to react, and that all stems from the fact that there's no vision. Neither team has had a chance to actually, properly ward and properly set up for these things. It's just go now or don't go. That's all there is at the moment. Two speeds.
Alex Ich, meanwhile, in the top lane. It's always fun to see Zac, because the player just looks like they're having so much fun on it. Because you just see him launching into a giant creep wave and just like swallowing all his ooze around and picking up all of that lovely gold, and that's exactly what Alex has just done in that top wave. What's he going to go back and buy? Look at the gold across the board. It's pretty close, but the junglers, that's where the difference is for Gambit. They have an advantage there. Cyanide falling behind Diamond Prox, but Peke as well. He's picking up all those kills, of course, which is going to give him that 1,500 gold advantage currently over Darien, who's effectively the mid laner, will now fight.
And really interesting stats talking about the junglers, both of them being involved in 9 kills. However, it's 9 assists for Cyanide, 4 kills, 5 assists for Diamond Prox. And it's something we've said about Cyanide over and over and over. It just seems in Fnatic that Cyanide very seldom gets all those kills. It almost always goes to his carries. And when you consider that Kha'Zix has 6 of his team's 11 kills, it's a very, very important statistic.
Oh, the support of N-Rated looking maybe. Oh, throws the Howling Gale out. Clever use, and the Baron's going to turn around and attack Edward there. Just pops his shield, that's all it did, and nearly went in towards that bush. It is a ward-clearing mission from both teams here, and a battle of the oracles, as it were, as the Howling Gale going once a crane across and poking back and forward. And Edward once again takes another ward down, and N-Rated manages to put in there.
I imagine N-Rated's probably got some more charges on that Ruby Sightstone.
Yep, another one.
Put another one down. We will most likely see in Edward coming back. He's just spotted it. There's the Howling Gale charged up. Edward will probably take one more Baron hit, and it's just this ward battle, but they've caught out Diamond Prox.
They have, but he turns back in, flips in towards there. Is he going to be able to get away from this one? Chain of Corruption lands on towards Cyanide, and Alex Ich is bouncing in there. Unstoppable force catches on Yellowstone. He gets melted. N-Rated uses the Monsoon, but he's going to get dropped and consumed by Alex Ich. There's going to be Soaz. He tries to repel away, but he's caught out. That's a 3-for-0 for Gambit, and a fantastic initiation.
Alex Ich turned a smudge into a kill and squashed N-Rated completely. 3-for-0. That is arguably one of the best champion baits I think I've ever seen. Maybe intentional, maybe not, but the reaction from Gambit was perfect. They pick up those kills, and now they jump onto Baron. With all of the percentage damage that they can do, it's so, so important for them.
Fnatic are going to try and take an advantage from this one. They're pushing down on towards the inner turret, and I'm not too sure whether they're going to be able to escape quick enough here. They're not going to be able to take the turret down. Here comes Edward. Can he land that glitter lance? Yes, he caught on towards Cyanide. The rest of the team are collapsing down the river. The Void Spikes don't land on Edward, has got flash available. He's not going to go for it, though. Instead, they do continue to pursue. Look at Diamond. He's heading down the river. Alex is following. They are having a complete dragnet slowly settling down here. Edward's going to walk into 3 members, finds Cyanide, gets the Glitterlands down. Hail of arrows comes in from Genja. Genja's just off to the side. He's going to land all of that damage. Has it bought time for Peke? He just saw the immediately. Edward's like, you are not getting away. He's run straight towards him. He's got to check the bushes, though, and it looks like Peke may get away in time. No! The flash from Edward comes in. The Glitterlands goes down. He turns it around, and it's Alex, Itch, and Genja that are going to do the damage. He jumps away from this one. Uses his ultimate. Goes invisible for a short period of time. Throws out the avoid spikes. You can see Alex is trying to get in there, but in comes Diamond Proc to slam dunk and finish and pick up the bonus gold. It was a very long, drawn-out ace.
Even the running away is exciting. What on earth are we watching? Right now, though, Baron was picked up, and that is the most important part. Fnatic managed to use, what, maybe a minute, 40 seconds of that Baron just on a chase, just pulling them away. The never-ending chase to catch them, but 2 more kills, and now we see 1,100 gold in favor of Gambit. More importantly, though, the Baron buff, the stats, and the regen. And look at Darian, he's not afraid of Fnatic.
Fantastic, fantastic game here. And Gambit looking like they may well take an advantage. They're going to take down the inner turret in the mid lane. Howling Gale's going to just put a small delay on that one. But Soaz is split pushing. He's on the inner turret, which means this inhibitor turret is going to be exposed. It's going to be a 4v5, and they're going to keep the pressure on towards it. Ultimates are going to be available. Unstoppable forces there. Soaz is backing off. They realize they are losing this one out, but they're tanking it up. Peke comes in, Chain of Corruption gets fired out there. Genja does manage to get caught, and Rated gets taken down. Hail of Arrows goes in, Unstoppable Force. Yellow Star is completely melted off the map, and there's a Let's Bounce coming out from Alex Itch as he picks up the double kill. The turret's still not gone down. Soaz tries to come around the backside. Peke jumps back in, and Genja's taken incredibly low. Can they get back around? He's going to have the leap available in just a moment. The shield goes on towards him. There's the volley going in there. Darian's taking low now. Cyanode's going to come in towards him. Soaz repels in, picks up the kill, and Gambit are forced to back away from this one. It's 2-1.
The tower is alive. They threw everything at them and saved the tower. Fnatic managing to hold on, but Yellow Star just got squashed. He was deleted from the damage that Gambit put down, and with no escape mechanisms, no flash, no barrier, there's nothing that he can do from the bouncing and the unstoppable force that's coming down from Gambit. 19-12, now a 2,000 gold lead, but very, very, very crucially, that tower still stands.
Such a tight, close game. You can tell it's a grand final, ladies and gentlemen, because we are having an epic 19-12 in kills, just 2,000 gold, splitting them 4-3 in turrets, and the Dragon has respawned, and this time Fnatic are going there, and that's going to close that gold lead just that little bit more as they pick it up, and that will take it to just 1,000 gold between them. Or will Alex Itch go aggressive? No. So good choice.
At the moment, look at the itemization from Soaz. He's picked himself up a needlessly large rod. His neurotoxin is currently only dealing 17% of a target's current health. So as an initiation in terms of damage, that is a very, very big number that's going to be chunking down his opponents. And there isn't the greatest amount of magic resistance on the side of Gambit. They do have some here and there, but, you know, for the most part, that's pretty good. In conjunction with that, Leandra's Torment's going to be ticking over. Muramana has just been completed for Peke, so he's going to be dealing a lot more damage as well. And at the moment, it's just action city here in the grand final.
Blue buff steel, where they think of tanking up this side turret, I'm not too sure. Diamond Prox, he's pretty tanky now. They are going to go in towards it. They do have the damage. Genja is not there, though. Instead, he's clearing out the wave. They're like, guys, I'm tanking it. Oh, wait, you're not here. Where's that pesky AD carry got to?
Yeah, a little bit of maybe miscommunication. Genja doing what Genja does best. You know, sitting alone in a lane, picking up CS once you hit the mid game. But he is 4-1-10. Last Whisper, Bloodthirster, Guardian Angel completed, and now 5 members of Gambit are set up. Keep very close eyes on Alex's positions. He is going to stretch those arms to the max and launch himself at members of Fnatic. If they group up too tightly, this bouncing is going to hurt a lot.
He's absolutely ready to go, but he's stood on top of a ward, and Yellow Star pretty much shows him that. We do see Diamond Prox getting flipped in there. That's going to be the wild growth, and Alex Itch does launch himself in. He's bouncing around all of Fnatic. Can he pick up more kills? It is actually a very close fight. Chain of Corruption does land on Cyanide. Diamond Prox goes in. Cataclysm is still available. Alex Itch launches himself back in again, and still no death for either team because Guardian Angel on Genja. Ooh. Cocoon comes out there, but doesn't quite land from Soaz, and Gambit forced to back back away, but they picked up a turret.
Just missing out on that cocoon. If it had caught Genja, they would have potentially jumped in on that. But a lot of abilities used, and more importantly, Flash and Barrier is down for Yellowstar. So if they jump in again in the next couple of minutes, they will be able to take Cosmo out, and he is so crucial to getting through those tanks. With that Biocan barrage, they've caught out Darian.
They've caught out Darian. Peke tries to jump in, but the voice spikes don't land, and he may well turn against them. Soaz is repelled away. Where's he going to go towards? He's going to come back down. Alex Ich exhausted, and the Monsoon just about saving Soaz there. And you can see now Genja, he's going in towards Peke, but Peke jumps back in. Wild Growth comes out there. Alex Ich tries to bounce in towards him, but he gets taken down. His passive's going to be popped. Are they going to be able to save him though? One more hit, one more thing goes down. Peke manages to pick that kill up. Diamond Prox, he jumps on Soaz. He takes him down. He gets flipped back in there by Cyanide, who slides away from this one, but Peke is going to continue chasing. He's going to get one more void spike, but does not land. And Fnatic chase down and go 2-1 in that engagement. 37 minutes gone into this game. We've had 34 kills, and it's still just 1,000 gold separating the two.
45 seconds on the clock before Baron gets up. Look at both of these teams going to be resetting. I wish the analysis desk the best of luck breaking this game down, because my word, it has not stopped. Very, very importantly, Genja still has his Guardian Angel available. So if a team fight breaks out, they are going to be in one another's faces and relying on him to respawn. Let's take a moment to catch our breaths and get ready for this next fight, because it is going to be a big one.
And let's just take a look, well, we've got 15 seconds before Baron spawns, to Alex Ich's build. It's very different from anything else we've seen so far on Zach. I say that it's semi-similar, currently, to what Soaz built when he was top lane.
I want to see where the Giant's Belt goes. I'd love to see it become a Rylai's Crystal Scepter, and then, of course, the Liandry's, and that be the 6th item. I'm hoping that's what it is, and it'll work so well. Not only is he going to have the knockups, but magic damage and the slow will work well. Darian has played aggressive. He snuck into the bush, and the last time Fnatic took the bait of fighting Diamond Prox, it cost them that fight and the Baron. Wisely, Fnatic back away from that particular setup.
The back and forwards between N-Rated and Edward is non-stop at that Baron. Every time N-Rated comes back, places a wall, throws the Howling Gale, Edward takes another chunk from that Baron, and this time he does finally take it down. Peke jumps in, lands the Void Spikes across a number of members. It's going to be the Cocoon landing, as Darian has taken a lot of damage, and he hasn't got really much magic resist. The only magic resist sort of stacked on him is simply from the Abyssal Scepter that he's got, and of course the Runic Bulwark, but you just see the amount of damage that Soaz is putting out is hurting.
And that's just one combo. It takes a third of his life away. Now take a look at Gambit. They've set themselves up. They have vision here in the bush, and they have such great initiation power. They are going to set up here. Fnatic may get jumped on, and this could be the fight that determines the inhibitor. There goes Diamond Prox, immediately backs away. Monsoon was available for N-Rated if you wanted to throw them back. And Fnatic, they'll be happy to stall out because Yellowstar still does not have Flash. When they have Flash up, I expect Fnatic to pick a fight.
Peke clears a giant wave in that top, and that's going to give him a big chunk more gold, and he's very, very strong. But looking across the board, we do see a Black Cleaver being picked up by Diamond Prox in the jungle. So a lot of damage now going to come out from that jungler. Peke continues to wipe out those waves with the Void Spikes. He's got a ton of damage, but he got to get in the fight at the right time. Guardian Angels, well, no surprise there. It's on Genja.
And not only was the Black Cleaver picked up by Jarvan, we see the Banshee's Veil completed by Yellowstar. So in terms of his itemization, he feels that the magic resist and the spell blocking is going to be more important than coming back to life. You don't tend to see more than one defensive item on an AD carry, so we'll see whether or not Yellowstar is going to feel the same. And we'll see how this match pans out. Vision wards are down. We're going to clear out this Baron once again. Fnatic are going to respond as quickly as possible, because the percentage DPS from Gambit will be able to take the Baron down very, very quickly.
Someone somewhere needs to do a ward count between Edward and N-Rated, because frankly that ward in the back of the Baron has gone down so many times. N-Rated persistently keeps on putting it back in there. And meanwhile Gambit, they have got the advantage. Of course, Baron did turn and attack Alex Ich just a little bit because of that Sunfire cape. Again, Soaz trying to catch someone out. That's generally how the fights have been beginning. The Cocoon from Soaz is the starter.
Yeah, that's the initiation tool. Now, Fnatic, you'll see with that very big wave on the bottom lane, they're playing a bit more aggressively. And as soon as you see Darian revealing his hand, they may actually go in there. We do need to talk about how well Peke has pulled himself back into this matchup. He was fairly far behind in the early game, but now he's got a 100 CS lead over Darien, who is his lane opponent. And the Dragon just gets melted. I mean, that didn't last more than 5 seconds.
Yeah, but for a short period of time, Fnatic had that gold lead, and Gambit now back in the lead, despite the fact they have got 5-3 in turrets, and they have 20-14 in kills. Of course, it does mean that Fnatic are doing a fantastic job of keeping those wave cleared. Look at the TS. You can see the leaders really are Peke and Soaz. They've both passed 300. Nobody on Gambit so far have got to that 300 mark.
I genuinely don't believe we've seen any game that's been this chaotic, but this stable in terms of the CS, in terms of the gold, and in terms of, you know, just keeping up with one another. Whenever you tend to see all these chaotic team fights going back and forth, one team generally pulls ahead and then maintains that lead. Fnatic have seen an opportunity, they stacked up, but they don't have Enrated with them. Enrated's going to step over this ward, and we may see an engagement Gambit. There, they've caught out Enrated.
We're going to see the teleport coming out from Darien as well. He's coming towards that mid lane. It's not Enrated they want, it's the rest of the team, and they're going to launch in towards Cyanide. But they don't go full-on engaged just yet. No ultimates have been burnt, and the Chain of Corruption lands on towards Cyanide. Now he's the target. Now they turn around for it. But Fnatic are actually in a pretty good position. That's a very good Zhonya's Hourglass, but Cataclysm goes on towards Yellowstar. If they can keep Yellowstar safe at the back of this, Fnatic are looking good. Monsoon comes down. Cyanide gets burnt. Gambit turned the damage on his head with the picks up the kill. Peke's going to get focused and exhausted. He jumps onto Darien, gets the reset, jumps away. Diamond Procs taken very, very low. And the rest of Fnatic are trying to run for their lives. They're going to have to chase down Peke, but he is running. Oh, and Alex Itch comes leaping in, but he gets the jump again. The Void Spikes land on towards Alex Itch. So as throws the Cocoon out, and it lands. Oh my God, I can't believe it. Peke's got away. It's a 1-for-1 so far between these two, and they are continuing to chase.
I have never in my life seen team fights like this. Fnatic were outnumbered. That was a 5 versus 4. They were on the wrong side of the river. They were in Gambit's territory. Not only did they pick up a kill on the way out, they only lost 1. Great play from both of these teams, and gold is within touching distance. There is a 100 gold difference between these teams. There's a ward that differentiates them, and this is Enrated just giving them to Edward. That's the only difference between these teams.
There's been a lot of wards separated between them, and look at the gold across the board. Clearly Peke is the main damage dealer for Fnatic right now, and he has been causing them problems. You can see he's at 8-3-1. He is all about the damage. There's no defense on there.
And how on earth did he get away in the jungle? He managed to pick up the kill there onto Darien or be involved in it, then instantly leap to the side. Alex's stretching strike, the Q, was just millimeters behind him. If it had hit, it would have slowed him down. My God, is this the 4th time they've done this ward battle? They're still at it. This is a mini game between them, I'm sure. But yeah, Peke gets away with his life from that engagement, and everything just resets. Baron is still up, and we still haven't seen a fight for it.
Well, I did say we hope we see a 50-minute game, and we may well just get that. Soaz is going to keep on chasing on towards Diamond. He sidesteps the Cocoon, though, so he's not going to be able to take that one down, but he is getting so much more damage as these fights progress. He's going to become a serious thorn in Gambit's side.
And don't forget, this is the grand final for the LCS Spring Playoffs. If Gambit pick up this win, they will be your grand final winners. First place in the Spring Seed. And if you're not watching with your friends and your estranged ex-wife, get them now because this is an epic 21-15. Fnatic are 6 kills behind, but they are keeping up thanks to some fantastic CS.
I think you missed out your mother, your brother, and your ex-lover right there.
Awesome rhyme. That was a good one. Gambit have started off on Baron. There is vision around, and we'll see. Take a look at the positioning for Diamond Procs. He's forced to escape with that combo.
So tense this game, so tense. They're both looking to see if they can get the perfect initiation. We saw it layered very well by Gambit in the previous fights, but they've not been able to do it. Fnatic have wised up to their tricks, and they've been just avoiding all of the damage. The repels, the Zhonya's Hourglass from Soaz, the jump aways from Peke, and the jump back engages, the Monsoons, the Howling Gales. Everything has been working for Fnatic to just keep Gambit away from engaging, but they're going to siege down, and this is going to be the first inhibitor turret of the game.
And
if they
here
can get
Peke.
one hit, Peke comes jumping in from the side. The Cocoon doesn't land this time around, though. It is so tense between them. And the gold, it's just 500. It keeps going back and forward. But honestly, really anyone could win the next fight.
This is absolutely nothing separating these two teams. I do like the pickup of that Rylai's Crystal Scepter by Alexic. As we mentioned earlier on, he's going to be able to apply a slow while knocking up his opponents. Two members of Fnatic are going to try jump in here on Diamond Proxen. As we've seen Peke jumping into that team fight, he's feeling a lot more brave because of the fact that he's got that Guardian Angel picked up. He's going to be able to revive, respawn, and re-attempt to kill his opponents.
Yeah, he sold off the Hex Drinker that he had on there and went for the Guardian Angel instead. Randy Noman and Zhonya's Hourglass also for Soaz as well. So he's suddenly got a tanky item for that next fight should he get caught out by Genja. Yellowstar, meanwhile, he's got that Banshee's Veil. He's had it for a while. He's trying to get that Zeal on as quick as possible. Actually, he's kind of split between them because he's got another BF sword in there. Soaz has gone aggressive. He's gone towards Genja. If they can pop his Guardian Angel, this will be a great win for them. And he does just as the Chain of Corruption came out. It did not take because he got taken down. And Genja has been sacrificed. And the question is now, Fnatic, they're going to turn straight for the Baron.
They feel the Baron is more important than anything else, and they wouldn't be able to siege a tower, really, because of the initiation power. Now, Gambit are going to have to do something to contest. If they trap them in and land all of their ultimates perfectly, they could actually take them down, but it doesn't look like they want to. They're going to give this one up. They feel that without Genja's damage, it's not going to be a fight that they want to pick. And instead, they decide to back away. So, Baron number 2 of the game goes to Fnatic, and all of a sudden, you have to tell, how do Fnatic pick a fight? How are they going to siege? They can't pick a team fight under a tower because of how much crowd control, how many knockups are in the side of Gambit.
And of course, don't forget that Guardian Angel is going to be down for a fairly long period of time as well, and Fnatic definitely going to be shopping on through, so Genja is not going to be safe in this next fight. They're going to take down this top inner turret as well as the middle are pushing straight for that inhibitor turret. Remember, the middle inhibitor turret Fnatic is very low. Diamond Prox feeling very aggressive here on Peke. Peke uses that ultimate, and he's going to jump away from this one. He's going to get caught by that shard though. The slow comes in. Diamond's going to slide through. He forces the flash. Hasn't quite got the range for the Cataclysm.
And of course, Peke was stealthed up, so he managed to go through. The cocoon just misses onto Edward, but look at the damage from that neurotoxin and the spiderling.
He does manage to take half the damage. Yellow Star, he was hitting on towards the inhibitor turret. That's taken down low as well. This is so tight between these teams. One fight could mean the base.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, with the amount of damage that both of these teams have, they will shred through towers and inhibitors. I'd love to see what the gold is between these two teams as we hit 70,000 apiece. Look at the numbers down the board. And interestingly enough, with N-rated, he's had those double GP10s ticking over for a while. He's sitting on 3,000 gold right now, and he's not all that much further ahead than Edward as well. So interesting spotting there on those GP10s. I want to see what N-rated thinks about them.
So suddenly 4,000 gold difference between them. You can check N-rated, but I'd go ask Crepo myself.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's been a dramatic game.
I don't know what's worse, the fact that you looked at him and said ask N-rated. It's just like, just put the guy down one day. The fact that he got third in the tournament. I mean, straight to his face is pretty much brutal. It's like a sledgehammer right to the face.
Not cool. Baron is up, and we'll see how much time is left, and it's about half of the duration. Fnatic are probably going to start to stack up and try push these lanes down. The inner turrets for both the top and the bottom lane are still standing, and we'll see if they want to siege it down. Soaz is going to try to get in range. May not be able to actually do it. And I think Cosmo stole it, blew away. He did. He
managed to steal it away with the artillery. So he managed to snipe it down, and he's going to tank up the turret as well. So now it's a 5,000 gold swing straight to Fnatic. That is a very quick turnaround of events simply from that one catch on Genja and the Baron. They're going to follow them towards those twin shadows. It goes on towards Edward, and now they're going to start sieging on this top inhibitor turret.
Gambit are not going to take this one lightly. You may actually see them engage. They have a very good burst potential, and if Fnatic stack up, they will jump in, and you can tell as Fnatic decide to back away from that particular engagement. So right now, Fnatic, they still have this Baron up, and Cogmore is going to be able to out-DPS Varus. If they get in a duel with that living on the Biochem Barrage, it is going to be more effective than those double Bloodthirsters, but we'll see just how that plays out, because there is no escape for Yellow Star. If he gets caught, if he gets jumped on, he can get popped like a balloon.
Just 1 minute remains on the Baron buff, and they are trying to best the siege through, but they're not really getting too many hits on towards it. In fact, I don't think they've got any hits on towards that turret so far, so Yellowstar not able to get quite close enough. They realize that one unstoppable force, one jump in there from Alex Siege will cause them all sorts of problems, no matter even if they have got that Baron buff. They do finally get some balls and going to shoot down that turret. They took half of the hit points off it. Alex Siege thought about getting the slingshot, did get seen and didn't launch for it just yet. Half the hit points down on the turret. Will they continue on? There's a big creep wave on the bottom. They're going to take that inner turret down in the bottom lane.
Something else we haven't pointed out just yet, Enraged picked himself up the Zeke's Herald as well, giving the attack damage as well as that lifesteal to the rest of his teammates. So all of their statistics is definitely going to be helping out. Now we'll see how this particular siege goes on, and there's the slingshot.
There's Alex Siege. He jumps in. He's going to use Let's Bounce. Can he catch on towards them? The Banshee's Veil still yet to get popped, and he has to pop away from this one. Chain of Corruption came out. He did manage to shut them down, but they still haven't lost that inhibitor turret, and more importantly, the Baron buff has just run out for Fnatic.
Very importantly, that Let's Bounce didn't have the impact that it needed. Darian was waiting for a multi-man knockup before he used Unstoppable Force. It didn't happen, and that's why the rest of Gambit didn't follow up. Now, Fnatic have this window of opportunity where that ability is not available to them. The fact they don't have Baron anymore forces them to decide to back away and play this one a little bit more safely. But we are hitting like breaking point as far as items are concerned. That is a 6-item Alex. Leandri's has been completed at the end. We have a Black Cleaver Jarvan working towards that Randuin's Omen as well. And it's just everybody's hitting this. We cannot go further with our item stage.
The mental and physical drain on these players right now, as we probably close in on about 4 hours, I would say, of this grand final been going on for a pretty much long time. We're up to 52 minutes once again. We had a 54-minute game just a moment ago, and I think we're getting close to a very, very long period of time that these guys have had to just go at the top of their game, slugging it back and forward. That may be why you saw a lot of kills at the start of this game, because maybe just their mental edge was not quite there and they were just throwing kills back and forward, but it's fell in towards Fnatic's hands. You can see that 9-3-1 on Kazik's working well, and he's now got that third eye on top of his head. The Oracle's in there, but it is a 6,000 gold lead for Fnatic, but honestly, when you're looking at 72,000 to 78,000, that is not a giant stretch. 21,000 gold now on Peke. They've managed to pass that 20k mark. That's incredible.
There's a scary statistic. Peke has 25% of his team's gold, single-handedly. In his, wallet or his bank account that he has spent, is a quarter of his team's money. Now we'll see this positioning. Soaz is thinking about going in. He's repelled forward. There's the cocoon on Darian.
The cocoon lands, but it's actually going to turn around. Chain of Corruption goes on towards Soaz as well. There's going to be the Voidoos. Alex Siege, meanwhile, he's got on towards Peke, or is Peke caught on him? He's going to get hooked down there. There's going to be the collateral damage to try and catch on towards him. There's going to be Peke goes down. Cataclysm, of course, the one I meant, but it doesn't matter because it is all about collateral damage right now for Fnatic. They are managing to start picking up kills. 2 members of Gambit go down, and they're going to run straight through in that mid lane. Soaz caught by the Glitterlands, but he's going to be able to get away from this one. Fnatic so low. Genja goes second down. He's going to get his Guardian Angels pop. The Monsoon comes out from Enraged on the turret. Fantastic play from Enraged there, and we see Peke jumping towards Enraged. Finally, the first inhibitor turret, 53 minutes into this game, goes down, and the inhibitor's going to drop. It's going to be Fnatic. We're going to have a game 4, surely. For game 5 even, I can't even count anymore. It's been that crazy. The Nexus turrets are going to get taken down here. It's Peke launching on towards them, and Fnatic close the net on towards Gambit. Peke picks up yet another kill. No! Tries to jump on towards Gedwood. It doesn't matter. The game is over, and Fnatic are going to take it to game 5.
Fnatic are going all the way. They are putting out, and they are putting Gambit down in the 4th game. It is 2-2. The series is tied up. Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we survive it.
What an absolute epic from the both teams there. And it's just, oh my word, I don't even know what words can describe that. So we're going to go over to the analysis desk because I am out of breath. Joe Miller, Jason Kaplan, and Scumbag Crepo are going to take you through that absolute thriller.
I think absolute thriller there is a bit of an understatement as well. Usually it will start off